In 2001, a billionaire whose family owns one of the largest cosmetics companies in the world noticed that his lipstick sales were going up during a recession. So he proposed a theory. The theory was adopted as economic insight, repeated in business schools, cited in the Wall Street Journal, and is now treated as a legitimate indicator of whether a recession is coming. Nobody thought to mention that the man who invented the theory profits directly when you believe it. Today, we are going to talk about the lipstick effect, what it actually is, what the research says, what it gets completely wrong, and why in 2026 the original theory no longer explains what is happening. The lipstick effect goes like this. During an economic downturn, people cut back on big purchases. No new car, no holiday, no designer bag. But they still want to feel good. So they buy something small and affordable instead. The desire to treat yourself does not disappear during hard times. It just gets smaller. Leonard Lauder first described this in 2001. After September 11th and the recession that followed, he noticed lipstick sales rose by 11%. He connected the two things, named the pattern, and the lipstick index was born. This story has been told thousands of times. It is clean, it is intuitive, and it makes recession spending feel almost charming. There is just one problem with it. The 2001 data is contested. The spike was likely driven by a boom in celebrity beauty brands, not recession behavior. And in later recessions, including 2008, the lipstick index failed. Sales fell along with everything else. So the foundational story is built on data that does not fully support it. But here is the more interesting question. Why did we accept it so readily? A billionaire who sells lipstick proposed a theory that says people will always buy lipstick. And it was received as economics rather than marketing, because a theory that tells people their behavior is not irrational, not a personal failure, but a universal human pattern, is a theory that is very, very good for selling lipstick. The lipstick index is one of the most effective pieces of marketing ever produced. It just got classified as economics instead. Women were substituting away from clothing, trading their dress for the lipstick. Even though cosmetics got more expensive relative to clothing, that is not affordability. That is psychology. Choosing the thing that delivers the most control, the most visible improvement, the most immediate reward. Researchers propose three explanations: psychological, evolutionary, employment based. But notice this, they all explain behavior as a response to other people, the partner, the employer, the external evaluator. Nobody asks a simpler question. What if people just want to feel better? Full stop. The lipstick effect was named after women, studied in women, and used to explain women's behavior. Men's equivalent? No name, barely studied. Yet the data is clear. Men are just as likely to make small luxury purchases, and when they do, they spend more. The top category globally is food and beverages, premium spirits, restaurant, craft beer, functionally identical to lipstick, but never described as anxiety-driven consumption. In 2023, someone coined the chapstick effect. It received almost no attention. Asymmetry is the story. One is treated as psychology to be explained, the other is just the market. The original theory assumed constraint. You could not afford the big thing, so you bought the small thing instead. That assumption no longer holds because of buy now, pay later. Now it looks like £600 split into invisible monthly payments across multiple platforms. The lipstick is no longer small, just hidden. The theory used to describe substitution. Now it describes illusion. During COVID, lipstick sales dropped, but cosmetic spending did not. It shifted. The lipstick index has been substituted. That line matters because the product is not the point. The lipstick is a placeholder. What matters is affordable, visible, emotionally rewarding. In 2025, economy was K-shaped. Higher earners were trading down. Lower earners were trading up using debt. Both are spending for completely different reasons, and both are being driven less by the economy and more by the social media feed. So here is what the lipstick effect really does. It makes spending feel okay. It turns behavior into psychology instead of system design. It removes the need to question who benefits. You are not being targeted, you are just treating yourself. The lipstick is not just a product, it is an alibi. So the lipstick effect is real, but it was named by someone with a commercial interest. It has been distorted by BNPL. It has a gender bias. And social media has rewired the driver entirely. You're not spending because you cannot afford the holiday. You're spending because the feed has shown you people who apparently can. The lipstick is the same. The economy around it is not. Hi, I'm Akanksha, and this was The Storyteller's Lens. Please subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.